All right, so move on to the next segment. We're going to pivot over here into the world of boxing, and I'll be sharing my fight prediction for this weekend's fight taking place in the sport of boxing between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. So it will be Shakur Stevenson defending his WBC lightweight championship against William Zepeda in the co-main event slot of the Edgar Berlanga card this weekend taking place in the sport of boxing. A massive lightweight showdown that we'll be seeing between two undefeated fighters. So these are the following storylines I have heading into this fight. Can Shakur Stevenson add another big victory to his boxing career? Shakur Stevenson is putting together a pretty impressive resume at a young age. He's already a three-division world champion, undefeated, known as a top 10 pound-for-pound fighter for most boxing fans and boxing analysts around the world. He's already defeated several undefeated fighters in the past and several world champions in the past. Now he has his toughest task at hand at the lightweight division, fighting William Zepeda. I think if Shakur Stevenson can get past William Zepeda and defeat him Saturday night, this will be the biggest win of Shakur Stevenson's career at the 135-pound division in the sport of boxing. That's how big this fight is for Shakur Stevenson to prove that he is one of, if not the best fighters at this lightweight division. So a lot is riding on the line for Shakur Stevenson as he has another WBC lightweight title defense. Next storyline is, can William Zepeda finally cash in on his first world title opportunity? Now, Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions has built William Zepeda slowly but surely to the top of the lightweight division. The only thing that he's missing is some championship gold around his waist. And if you follow William Zepeda over the last few years, he's been climbing up the lightweight rankings. He was actually the number one contender at a time for the WBC title and a number one contender for the WBA title. So he could have went the route that he's going in now, and he pursued this route, fighting Shakur Stevenson for the WBC title, or he could have went the route evidently and fought Gervonta Tank Davis for the WBA title at this lightweight division. So now we're going to see what William Zepeda could do when the lights are on bright, the world is watching, you're getting a crack at your first world title. We're going to see if he can hang in the big moments or he's going to drown in the deep waters. And final storyline is, we're finally getting this fight, but can this fight truly deliver? This fight, if you guys have been paying attention to the lightweight division, it has been on hold. It's been stalled out for the last 1 to 2 years. So this fight has been building over the year or so. The fight was supposed to be held a while ago. You can even date this back to when Shakur Stevenson in late 2023 was fighting for the vacated lightweight WBC lightweight title. There were several names that ducked Shakur Stevenson to fight for a vacant world title at the time. I'm talking Vasily Lomachenko. I'm talking Frank the Ghost Martin. I'm talking William Zepeda. So that's one of the scenarios we never got this fight. Then this fight, both sides had injuries, and the fight just kept getting postponed, derailed. But now, July 2025, we're finally getting this lightweight championship fight between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. We're going to see if this fight could truly deliver. And we're going to see what both of these respective fighters bring to the table Saturday night. But enough of the storylines. Let's get to the fun part here. The tail of the tape. Starting off with the challenger, William Zepeda. William Zepeda he has 33 victories, 0 losses to his resume. 27 victories come away of knockout. Stands at 5'9" with a reach of 69 inches. Then going to the champion, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is 23-0. 11 victories come away of knockout. Currently the reigning, defending WBC lightweight champion. Stands at 5'8" with a reach of 68 inches. So the height and the reach, a small advantage, goes to William Zepeda, the challenger. We'll see if he can use the height and reach in his advantage in this championship fight Saturday night. But let's get into the following game plans. These are the following game plans I have for these respective fighters to follow if they want to walk out Saturday night in New York with that WBC lightweight title. So let's start off with the challenger here, William Zepeda. First game plan is William Zepeda has to start off fast. He has to have his foot on the gas pedal and put the pressure on Shakur Stevenson. Walk down Shakur Stevenson, make him feel uncomfortable, make Shakur fight off the back foot, bully him. And it's southpaw versus southpaw here. What happened last time Shakur Stevenson, it was a southpaw versus southpaw matchup at the lightweight division. He fought the bully, Edwin De Los Santos, that packs a punch, a powerful puncher. Shakur Stevenson was very intimidated of the power that Edwin De Los Santos had. And hand injury not, he was a runner, he was a track star, he could have ran in a 2x4 race in that boxing ring when he fought Edwin De Los Santos. I think William Zepeda, as a powerful puncher that he is, I just said, 27 victories can win a knockout. You don't get that by accident in your boxing career. I think he should have a game plan similar to what Edwin De Los Santos had. Fight coming forward, make Shakur Stevenson feel very intimidated of your power. I think that's the first game plan he should follow. Next, William Zepeda should throw punches and flurries. Now, what I mean by throw punches and flurries is William Zepeda is a very active fighter, and he throws around 80 to 100 punches per round. If you don't believe me, look at the tape, look at his previous fights. This man is active from the get-go all the way to the end of the fight. And he's effective at landing 3 to 5 punch combinations in flurries. So if he can get on the offensive, if he could get going offensively, land the punches and flurries, land the 3 to 5 piece combinations, this could be a 50-50 fight if William Zepeda could do that. But I think that's a game plan he should follow. And last but not least, I think William Zepeda should cut the ring off. Now, he should trap Shakur Stevenson towards the ropes, have his back leaned up on the ropes, and go to work on the body to slow down Shakur Stevenson. I think if William Zepeda could follow these respective game plans, we could see a very interesting fight Saturday night with that WBC lightweight title on the line. But those are the following game plans that I have for William Zepeda. Now, for the champion, Shakur Stevenson, I think Shakur Stevenson can use his footwork. Now, Shakur Stevenson has tremendous footwork, and it's one of the reasons why he's one of the best fighters in the world. He's a very special fighter. He likes to use his footwork and fight at different angles, different lateral movements, and does a great job moving, using his feet, moving in different lateral movements, fighting in different lateral movements to avoid his opponent's punches. And a big advantage that Shakur Stevenson has is his footwork. Shakur Stevenson has much better footwork, very polished footwork. William Zepeda does not. William Zepeda is actually very flat-footed, which is not good against a fighter that is very fast, is going to have the speed advantage over you in this fight. So if William Zepeda did not work on his footwork in camp, that's a bad sign to me. And you're going to tell that early on in the fight when Shakur Stevenson could be moving around, try to pick his spots in this fight. So I think that's one game plan Shakur Stevenson should follow. Next, Shakur Stevenson should be alert defensively. Now, everybody's going to say, why did you say be alert defensively? Well, this is a dangerous puncher that he's facing with William Zepeda, but Shakur Stevenson knows how the game of boxing works, how the sport of boxing works, I should say. Floyd Mayweather used to say it all the time. People used to get pissed off with him. You survive more and longer in boxing without getting hit. Shakur Stevenson does that best in this generation of boxing, and he avoids being hit defensively. And actually, I do believe that Shakur Stevenson is the greatest defensive fighter that we've seen since Floyd Mayweather retired in 2017. And actually, he only gets hit five and a half punches a round, and that's actually a stat according to CopyBox, which is absolutely insane. And I think that leads all world champions in terms of being hit by punches. So I think that's a phenomenal stat. And last but not least, I think Shakur Stevenson should tap into his boxing arsenal, his boxing toolbox. He keeps saying we're going to be shocked by his performance, and I'm going to get to that point, that statement in a second. But I think Shakur should tap into that boxing toolbox. He has a great jab. I think he has a stiff, mean jab, one of the best jabs in the business. I think he should land the 1-2 combinations, land the right hook, win the counter-punching battle, and use his boxing skills to frustrate William Zepeda at all costs and make William Zepeda throw off his game plan, and Shakur Stevenson can play the mind games once he knows he has your number in that ring. So those are the following game plans I have for these respective fighters to follow. Now, what I'm about to say may shock a lot of you guys, so don't be alarmed by what I'm about to say. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Shakur Stevenson to defeat William Zepeda by unanimous decision to successfully retain his WBC lightweight title Saturday night in the sport of boxing. Now, Shakur Stevenson is going to be my pick. There's two ways this fight is going to go. It could be a 50-50 fight, because Styles makes fights, and Shakur Stevenson, we're going to see how he does against a dangerous knockout artist at this lightweight division. 27 victories coming away knockout by William Zepeda. It's southpaw versus southpaw, so this could be interesting. Or B, which I do believe will happen, this will be a non-competitive fight. And I think Shakur's just going to have his way with him. I'm telling you guys, styles makes fights, and I think Shakur Stevenson is going to have a similar performance that he had against Oscar Valdez a few years ago at the 130-pound division. And I think this fight is actually going to be similar to what Floyd Mayweather did to Canelo Alvarez a few years ago in 2013. Now, walk with me here, because I think Shakur Stevenson is going to be the faster fighter. He's the more polished fighter with the better boxing skills, boxing repertoire. He's going to fight in different lateral movements. He's going to use his footwork. William Zepeda is already at a disadvantage here. He's very flat-footed, and Shakur Stevenson is going to capitalize on that. He's going to use his boxing IQ to frustrate William Zepeda. He's a great defensive fighter. Only gets hit five and a half times by punches in between rounds, according to Copy Box Stats. And I think he's going to win the counter-punching battle. I think he's going to use this stiff jab to counter off what William Zepeda is going to bring to the table. He could find himself in trouble at times in this fight, but nothing that's going to be too serious. I really think this is going to be a non-competitive fight. It could be competitive for the first 3 or 4 rounds, but once Shakur Stevenson figures it out, I think it's going to be a landslide victory for Shakur Stevenson. He's going to make it look easy and have a statement victory for the rest of the lightweight division with Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach, and whoever stands in his way now at 135 is going to have an impressive performance this weekend in the sport of boxing. But that is my Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda fight prediction.